Alright, I'm here with a brand new pickup video going over the stuff I've picked up lately. Probably the best pickup video of this garage sale season, maybe of the year so far, besides the Japan pickup video. I think that pickup video is pretty good. But some good pickups here all around. So I'll go into it. I'll start with the new release real quick. I picked up Mario Tennis Aces. Haven't played too much of it yet. Played a little bit. I just got it yesterday. It's been pretty fun so far, so I'll have to dive into that more. But yeah, that's all it for new releases. I'll go into some Goodwill finds real quick. These were a buck a piece at the one Goodwill. This is basically the only Goodwill I ever seem to find stuff at anymore. These were all $1 a piece, so I bought them all. Crazy Taxi on PS2. Star Trek Shattered Universe. And Star Trek Encounters, which this one was pretty cool. It was published by Bethesda, so it's kind of neat. But yeah, $1 each, can't really go wrong there. Not bad. I guess I'll go into some garage sale finds. I had been going pretty slow past few weeks. Since my last one, I hadn't found anything until this weekend. The best thing I got in the last little bit of time was a Wii bundle for $10 with a system and some controllers and stuff. That was the best thing I got. But other than that, it's been pretty slow going since my last video where I got the NES bundle and stuff. But this weekend I went out on Thursday, where all the sales start, and went to a sale on Craigslist that said video games. Usually I don't like the Craigslist sales, especially if they say anything. Because if you go to a Craigslist sale that says Nintendo, it's going to have been either gone, the night that it went up, or it's going to be, 40 people sitting out there at their yard. And by 40, that's probably an exaggeration, but probably 10 to 12 people will probably be there before the sale even opens asking about it. I actually did go to a sale that had Nintendo 64 listed, and I was the first one there, and the woman wanted $60 for just the system. So that was a definite no. That was a definite pass. So didn't get that. But this one just said video game, so I mean, it could have been anything. But I went to it. Got there actually about when it started at 9 o'clock, which I usually try to get there earlier, but I just didn't get out in time. So right when it started, I just see a bunch of bins on this table just sitting out full of game stuff. So I just start digging in, picked up some of this stuff here. Got a pretty good price on it. So here's what I'll go through. Got some consoles. None of them have any hookups. No cables, just the consoles. I got a 64 here. Super Nintendo. Not in the best of shape, a little chip on the front, but the price was right. This one had two controllers. An NES here. It had two controllers, and it actually had a zapper with it too. And the Super Nintendo had a controller as well. And this one actually had a video cable with no power cable. A PS1, the PSONE one. So there were some games as well, but with the systems, I asked the guy, how much are your systems? They don't have the cables, so they won't really work. And he's like, I don't know, $5 each. Okay. So I picked those all up for $5 each. I asked him how much he wanted for the games, and he wanted $3 each for the games. He gave me these ones for $1 since they don't have cases. Some PS1 games. Spawn the Eternal. Crash Bandicoot Warped. These are all pretty rough. I'm going to try resurfacing them with my machine. They might not turn out, though, because these are pretty rough. Crash Team Racing. And Crash 2 Cortex Strikes Back. I got some PS1 stuff, maybe my last video, maybe 2 videos ago, and most of those actually didn't end up working. They were so bad, I could not save those, even with my resurfacers, so it's too bad. But those were the ones I got for $1. For $3, I got some games, some NES games, Double Dragon, and Game of the Year every year, Super Mario Bros. 2. As well as for 64, I got GoldenEye. For NES, I left behind Jordan vs. Bird, and I left behind on N64 a Rugrats game. And then these were the best. The best games I found for these systems. Teen Titans on Gamecube. I hear this is actually a pretty decent game, so I know it's pretty expensive on the Xbox for some reason. It's not bad on the GameCube, but I'll probably keep it for my collection. I hear it's a pretty decent game. I don't have any affinity to the cartoon. I didn't grow up watching it or anything, but I don't know. And Crash Twinsanity here on PS2. There was some other stuff. I passed out. I was actually really stupid. This all came out to be $40 in the end, which I happily paid. I was really stupid, though, and forgot to get money at the bank, so I only had $48 in cash on me. So I would have probably picked up a few more PS2 games, but I didn't have the money. And I didn't want to try to, lowball this guy right when his sale opened up, because someone else would buy it. But there was some stuff like Resident Evil 4 and Devil May Cry 3 Greatest Hits I probably would have picked up for $3, but left them behind. Oh well. But yeah, it was a pretty good find. $40 for all that. Didn't find anything the rest of that day, but was pretty happy for that. Now I got a bunch of systems I got to find something to do with. But that's a problem I'm happy having. Friday I went out here and did all right. I did pretty well out here on Friday. I went out to an area that's about 20 minutes away from where I live. It's not a area that I've ever actually been garage sailing in, because usually nothing picks up out there, or nothing really is out there. But it had a neighborhood sale I hit up, and about 25 houses in the neighborhood. Asked at every single one, left my number for a few of them, but just no one was hitting, and I went up to this sale almost kind of out of pity. It was just this little boy. He was probably 9 years old, and he was having a sale. He was selling some of his video game stuff. There were some 360 games and some Wii games and stuff like that, and some Funko Pops and just toys and stuff he was selling. And I just asked, is that all the video game stuff you want to sell? And he's like, oh, I got this 360 stuff. I'm like, I usually look for the older stuff. He's like, oh, older? Would you want NES games? And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So he brings out a tub. It has one of those Retrons in it that plays NES and Super Nintendo, but I didn't want the system, really. I asked him, actually, he brought out, and it has some games in there. I asked him what he would want for everything. And he said, I don't want to sell everything, but let me pick out a few ones that I would want to sell. And he gives me a few, and they were all stuff I already had. So I just said, I don't really need those ones. And he said, do you want this one here? And he pulls out this game. And I've been saying this whole year that this is a game that, one of the 3 games that I want to get this year somehow. At garage sales. These are games that I should have, but for some reason I don't. The other 2 being Super Metroid and Smash Brothers on 64. But this was one of them as well, and it is Yoshi's Island on Super Nintendo. Pretty nice shape. It was actually in an exchange little bag that they bagged up their things in, so he must have got it at the exchange and didn't want to play it anymore. But I just asked, how much you want for it? Because I don't want to make the offer for the kid, because I don't want to rip off a little kid. He's like, I said, how much you want for it? He said, is 10 fine? And I said, sure, I'll do 10. Because this is a game I've been looking for forever. 10's a pretty good price on that. I'm pretty happy with that all around. So that's good with me. He had some that stuff he didn't want to sell. I wouldn't have minded getting some Zeldas on NES and both the Zeldas on NES and Link to the Past. Wouldn't have minded getting those. I actually have an extra Link to the Past box that I wouldn't have minded pairing up with a cart and selling off. But, oh well, not a big deal. Pretty happy with that find. Here's the next one. Where should I go? This one is from this house. I just saw the sign off the road and decided to stop. And as I'm walking up to the sale, something catches my eye, and I see a box full of just strategy guides on the curb. And I see the woman who's doing the sale. I'm like, is this all trash here? And says, yeah, I don't want that stuff. Some of it got wet. And I look at the box, and there's one thing on top that got wet that I just throw into the other trash. But the rest of these strategy guides are all perfectly fine. A little dirty, but they're all perfectly fine. So I get this whole box of strategy guides for free. So I'll go through them. There's some interesting ones in here. I actually found one of them had a Best Buy receipt in it from 1995, which was really cool. But it was the best. It was one of the Best Buy that I went to as a kid before it moved into the location it's at now in my area. So I thought that was pretty cool. But some of these are PC, but most of them are PS1, PS2. The Seventh Guest strategy guide. I'm going to probably take some of these PC ones just to the one game store I trade stuff into, just because I don't really want them. The 11th Hour. I don't know why that was in there. This one's kind of cool, actually. Phantasmagoria. The weird, controversial FMV game. from back in the day. I might keep this one because it's a really nice shape and it's just interesting. So I might keep that one just because it's an interesting kind of piece of history. Oops, sorry about bumping my camera there. Complete Mist Hints and Solutions. This is kind of neat. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver Pocket Guide. Never seen this before. The Unofficial Resident Evil 2 Strategy Guide. Like I said, most of these are in good condition. I had to pitch 2 of them. There was 2 Tomb Raider ones that were soaking wet and really dirty that I couldn't keep. They were just too gross. Grand Theft Auto Vice City. This one's cool. Silent Hill 4. There's also, this one's really cool. Silent Hill 1. And Silent Hill 2. So, didn't get 3. I don't know why. Must have skipped 3 or something. I don't know. Carrier. Dino Crisis. A pretty nice strategy guide haul. The actual Resident Evil 2 guide, so I don't know why this person needed the authorized and unauthorized one. Resident Evil 3 strategy guide. Final Fantasy 8 strategy guide, which I think I already have. I think I already have Final Fantasy 7 through 10 strategy guides, but I'm not sure. DMC 3. Dino Crisis 2. There's still more. Medieval 2. Unauthorized Resident Evil Director's Cut. It's weird that there was an unauthorized Prima and an authorized Prima Resident Evil. That's weird. Just realized that. Nightmare Creatures 2. Dark Cloud. It's a cool one to get. I think I already have this one, but Spyro Year of the Dragon. Maybe I don't. I have a few of the Spyro ones. Final Fantasy 9. And Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 2. And Under a Killing Moon for PC as well. So, nice free strategy guide. There's also these King's Quest hint books that were in there. But yeah, all that was completely free. Just took that out to the car. Asked if they had any more game stuff, and she said, oh yeah, we got more up here at the sale. So I'd rush up there. Apparently, if I would have been there a week, I would have gotten a bunch. She said that they had like 150 PS2 games sitting out. Which I guess I missed. I guess a local reseller bought them or something. So that's kind of a bummer. But I didn't see anything about that sale, so this guy must have just gotten lucky. But, yeah, I got some stuff at the sale. Some actually pretty decent stuff, too. This guy must have passed up some pretty decent stuff. Got 89 Batman on Blu-ray. Haven't seen that movie forever. That's cool to get. Not a game find, but it was in the stack. For PS2, the games were all $1 each. So PS2, I got a loose copy of Godzilla Save the Earth. And I got a complete copy of Silent Hill 4. Really nice shape, complete. Dirty, but the disc was almost perfect. So that was good. For Genesis, I got a loose copy of Garfield Caught in the Act. I don't want to know what he was caught in the act of, but... And then this one, I just took a chance on and just bought it. Just because it was cool. Someone might have to tell me something about it. But I got Dungeons of Daggerath for the Radio Shack TRS-80 color computer. So, that's pretty cool. Someone will have to tell me something about that. I don't know. Looks in pretty nice shape. This guy must have been a pretty big time collector or something. The people that were running the sale there was just 2 women there. I don't know whose stuff it was. She said it was some... She kept referring to the person as he, but I don't know who it was. So, whatever. That was all $8 for everything I bought. The Blu-ray was... Blu-ray was $3. The games were $1 each. That doesn't quite add up. I might have lost $1 somewhere in that process, but who cares? Pretty nice find all around. Last find here I gotta go over. Kind of a weird one. So I always give my name and number out to people who say they might have stuff, and I say, hey, just call me or text me if you want to sell this stuff. I would be happy to maybe send me some pictures or tell me what you have, and I'd be willing to make a reasonable offer for everything you have here. And this woman I saw at a garage sale actually earlier today, this morning, right after this one here actually that I just showed, and she said, oh yeah, my brother lives right across the street. He has a bunch of games in his attic. Maybe when he comes back, I'll have him go up there and get it. So he I get a text later that says, "Oh, I have some Nintendo games. Call me." And I was like, "Okay, I guess I'm calling this person." I didn't know who it was because I gave my phone number about to 5 people today. So I didn't know who it was. So I called and she said, "Oh yeah, my brother found this stuff up in my attic." And she started describing it to me, and she said it was the original Nintendo, and then said it's a system with 2 controllers and then 4 games, 3 of them in their boxes. And she was like, "Oh, there's Jeopardy, there's a golf game," and I was like, "Okay, NES golf." I'm sure there was Jeopardy on NES. She said there was NASCAR game, and I was like, "Okay, there's the Konami NASCAR game." And then I go there, and she's like, "Oh, here it is," and it's not an original NES, that's for sure. But N64. Pretty nice shape. There's this gash on the front, but other than that, it's pretty nice shape. Yeah, an N64, 2 controllers here. The sticks are brand new. I mean, those sticks are perfect. And then the games I got here, in the box, I got Madden 99, which I did not have in the box. I got Jeopardy, which I did not have in the box. And I got Wailea, which I already have in the box, so who cares. And I got NASCAR 2000. Stuff smells like smoke a little bit, but I can, dryer sheet it out. It should be fine. Yeah, I got that with all the hookups and everything. And when the woman called me, I talked to her on the phone for about 10 minutes trying to make a deal. And she's like, "Oh, well, I saw on eBay that the systems go for..." And keep in mind, this is when I still thought this stuff was NES stuff. She's like, "I saw on eBay the systems go for about 60 to 200. And I was like, "Oh, well, they go for 60, usually just a system and a controller or something on eBay. But you have to pay shipping, you have to pay fees and everything like that. So you'd be closer to making maybe 40. I told her that the systems usually go for more like 50, because last time I sold one on eBay, that's what I sold it for. So you'd be making like 30 when it all comes down." And she's like, "Okay." And I kind of explained those games aren't very good. They're not games that people really want. They're not the real popular games. Still thinking this is all NES stuff. So she kind of says, "Oh, would you be able to do maybe 50 or 60 for it?" And I was like, "I don't know." And she said, "How about 50? I say, I'm not trying to rip you off. I'm not trying to do anything. I told her about the exchange, just if she wanted to maybe get a good cash offer. She could just do that. And just go over there and take that stuff, and they'd make her, a fair offer. But I said, the max I'd really want to do is like 30. And she said, "Okay, well, I appreciate it. I will, let you know if what he says, he'll be right back." And I get a text a little later. It's like, "Yeah, 30's fine with him. He just wanted to get rid of it." So I went over there, picked it up. Then, to my surprise, found out it was an N64. But, you know what? Still a good enough deal. I really can't go wrong. 30 maybe a little high, but, it's a good deal. I'll make my money back selling the system. I get to keep a couple games. Works out for me. So that is cool. And that's the end here. I'd like to thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a comment. Tell me what you've picked up lately. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're not already, if you want to watch more videos like this. Not sure why you would, but up to you. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, both at Objo Gaming. Trying to post more stuff on Instagram with my finds and stuff. I did one on that NES slot, but sometimes it's hard because, getting a little too excited out there finding stuff. But, well, I'd like to thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.